Hello crochet friends and welcome back. We're working on our Bible covers and we're going to finish this up today. We had done our edging, our beautiful little waves going around all three sides so far, and we are on the last side. So you have a choice here. You don't have to do your wave along here. If this is the way that you are folding it over your Bible or your book, if you don't want that wave on the inside, you don't have to do it. So I just wanted to throw that out there. If you want to stop, I am going to continue. I want to continue all the way to the other side and finish it up. Oh boy, I'm all twisted here. I don't know how I got myself so twisted. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to keep going, but this is a corner, right? So hopefully you're doing okay with your corners and you're working in the stitches right next to each other, just like we had done on the other corner at the very beginning, because you need to work around to get around that corner. And I know it was a little weird to do 3 in a row like that, but it just gives that, it doesn't make it bunch, right? Did you feel that that worked out well there for you? I'm hoping so. And how did everybody do on these little waves? Did they go smoothly for you once you got the pattern straight? I'm hoping so. So I'm gonna put this next one right here on this next stitch, right? That seems a little tight feeling to me. I think I missed a strand. And I'm going to do this 3 in a row here because I just want it to look uniform. 1, 2, and go back in there. So I hope everybody did well. What do you think of these waves? I like it. I like it on something like the Bible cover here, just because, you know, the waves being water and everything. I think that that's nice. So that kind of why I picked it out. And also I picked it too because half double crochet, you know, we were trying so hard to learn that stitch and get used to it. So I'm hoping that that was something that you feel comfortable with now, and that you can look at a pattern and say, hey, I know how to do that one, right? So I think this is a good project. I think it's something that's very adaptable to be different things. You could cover a book, you could cover, maybe you want to cover a laptop, or, you know, I use an old Kindle. That might be for reading, so that might be something you want to make one for. So it's just, sometimes it's just nice to know a different stitch, knowing this lattice stitch here, because we had talked before, I mean, even a placemat or a runner would be beautiful with this lattice stitch. So I don't know, I think sometimes it's just nice to have it in your pocket to know these different kinds of stitches. Okay, I'm going to keep going with my little waves here and get it all the way to the other end, and then I'm going to fasten off, okay? And then we are going to work on our buttons, all right? So let's keep going until we've got this all set. Here we go. Okay, this is the very end for me. So I'm going to go in this last space here and I'm going to make a shell or a wave. 1, 2, and I'm going to attach here. I wanted to show you this. I didn't want to leave you hanging with that last corner. Okay, so I'm going to do my single crochet, right? Just like we've been doing. Okay, and then I'm going to go into this first space of our very first wave, and I'm just going to give it a slip stitch just to secure us and finish off that corner there, which I think makes it look a little smoother. Okay, so let's cut that now. Let's cut that strand of yarn there and pull it through. Pull it through. There we go. Okay, and I think that makes it look smoother. All right, so that's why I went around. It's funny, I had that first little part of the green still, but it's okay. That doesn't bother me. All right, I thought I'd actually would make it to the blue doing so many of these waves on here, but I didn't. So that's all right. Okay, then you want to decide if you have used this yarn that changes colors. You want to decide which you want to be the inside or the outside for you. So, because if you notice, we were turning our work and it looks the same on both sides. So you can do whatever you would like, okay? I would like my green to be on the inside, I think. I think I do. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I think I would like it like this. I'm going to take my Bible like this, and I'm going to fold this over, and I would like my blue on top. I think I'd like the blue. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna go with. Keep kind of trying to look at it a little bit and decide what I like. And I think I like it like this. Okay, so what we want to do is, whatever buttons you have chosen, we're going to need to make a little tab for them. You could sew your button on your work and use one of these spaces to be the holes for it, but I don't like to do that only because, and you do it if you want to, that is perfectly fine. I think over time it stretches your work and then your piece doesn't sit as well. I like to attach the yarn and make a chain that will go, it's going to go from here underneath here, and we're going to make it so it goes around the button. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about with that. So you kind of decide where you want to position your buttons. Okay. So wherever you want to position your buttons, I'm going to do two. I'm using two different buttons. I will sew them on with embroidery floss when I'm ready to, I'm going to position them and sew them on. I think or thread, either or, embroidery floss or thread, whatever you'd like. Just so, I think the yarn will be too thick. I don't think, these are old buttons. I don't think it's gonna fit through there well enough. So that's what I'm going to do with those. So you kind of decide where you would like your buttons to be. So I think I'm going to go probably right here between these two little waves. I pulled these out of my old button tin that my grandma had given me. So they're old vintage buttons. That's what I like to use. I like to use the old ones. I just think it's kind of fun. But, that's just me. So make a loop, and drop your working tail behind, and pull that up on the shank of your hook. And what you want to do is just go in a space. I want to go in spaces where there's two of these, where we join up like that. So it kind of disguises it a little bit. And you just want to join with a slip stitch. So go enter in the space and pull through. That's it. And then we're going to chain. And now you can chain as many as you like. Maybe you have a big button and you need to get around that button. So you just chain whatever you need. So I'm going to try 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then I'm going to try and make a little loop and see how it's going to be, because I need to get around this button. See, I think that's going to be too small. So I'm going to go a couple more. 6, 7, 8. See now. I think that'll work just fine. I think it'll be able to slip over it and pull. So when it's far enough away, I can clasp it. Okay, does that make sense? I hope so. So to join it, I'm going to go back into that same space and I'm going to give it a slip stitch. So this little loopy will just stick up a little bit, and then we'll make our next one. So that knots it in there, and we'll tuck in all these tails later on, nice and neat, right? Okay, so that makes a loop for the first button. So when I attach my button on here, it will hold it onto my bobble and it will close this up. So you're just going to measure it onto your bobble, your book that you're using, right? See, and it kind of, I hope you can see it, it covers the loop so you don't see it, and it just shows off your button a little bit, and I like that. So there's my first one, and then I would take my yarn and make a loop. And now I know that I did 8, right? So I get that up on my hook there, and you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm gonna go in here. This looks pretty close to equidistant, and then I'm gonna join with a slip stitch and move my tail. I'm gonna chain 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, and then I'm going to go right back in that same space and do a slip stitch to join again. So if you were doing 3 buttons or 4, whatever you want to do, you just keep adding these on and just make sure your chain is adequate to get around your button. All right, so we will tuck in all these tails all nice. I'm going to put them in the back just so you can't see them. And I'm going to turn this like this. I'm hoping you can see it okay in the camera. So we have 2 tabs on our bobble cover, and then we just need to sew our buttons on. Position your buttons where you want them on the bottom piece, right? On this bottom piece, and you're just going to sew them right on there. That will hold them, and that's it. That's your Bible cover. I think it's beautiful, so I am just going to sew these 2 buttons on. It's all set. It's all nice and neat. It's wrapped up. I'm not going to lose my pages now, so I'm really excited about that. I will have a picture of this so that you can see the whole thing, because I don't know. I can pull this back a little bit. Maybe you can see the nice little waves on there and everything. It's kind of hard to see. It's big, but it's a beautiful piece. I think it turned out great. I love how it's going to fold and protect my Bible. I think this is going to be nice. I like these colors. I think I would choose these colors again. I do like this. And I love these little buttons. So I'm going to attach my buttons and sew in all my little tails everywhere. Finish up whatever part you're working on. Take your time, enjoy this. If you want to add an applique or anything fun on here, you could sew a whole bunch of little buttons everywhere. That would look cute too. You know, make it yours, make it unique. Maybe you want your own little initial on here or something, you know. So you do you, make it beautiful, make it your own work of art. I'll see you next time. Thank you, and have a joyful day.